All right. So, good evening, everyone, or whatever the time you are watching it at, as per your convenience. This is Satyanjan. I welcome you to Understand UPSC. Today, in the introductory session for the CSAT plan, me and a couple of your mentors will be discussing that plan with you. This is not just an introductory session where we'll be discussing the structure of the plan and the deliverables, but we'll also be telling you what are your responsibilities, and most importantly, that you do not need to fear the paper, fear the program, fear the schedule, nothing at all. Fear the questions for that matter, or fear the commission in itself. You don't need to do that. Something that I want to share before I hand it over to your mentors is that please believe in your mentors. They are extremely talented people and have accomplished a lot in their particular fields, which is directly related to the entire plan, the entire program that we are doing. They are very well accomplished. So all you need to do is, and जैसे मैं हमेशा एक बात बोलता हूँ, always say this, that trust somebody who is helping you selflessly, because they do not have anything to gain from helping you. They do not have any personal agenda. They do not have any personal motives, nothing at all. Whatever they are doing it out of the goodwill of their heart. That is why you should trust these mentors. That's the second reason to trust these mentors. First is that they are absolutely capable and able and have accomplished a lot of things in their particular fields. Second is that they are here selflessly. All right. Another thing is that I'm absolutely sure, because I have been in the meetings, I have seen these people work, I have seen them coordinating, I've seen them thinking and charting out a plan and volunteering for everything. So one thing I'm absolutely sure, that if you'll give your best from day one and do as much as they ask you to, which will not be a lot, if you do that, CSAT is not going to stop you from writing main. इससे simple मैं नहीं बता सकता the agenda of this entire plan. CSAT will not stop you from writing mains. That's it. That's the basic of it. I'll not waste any more of your time, and I'll hand it over to your absolutely amazing mentors. I'll hand it over to Khyati and Priya. They'll take you through the plan and they'll talk to you. Khyati, Priya, you can take it forward from here, and you guys can carry forward. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Okay. So as sir said, that we have three things that we'll be discussing right now. One is structure, second responsibilities that you have, and third to eliminate the fear, like which we have for CSAT. Like there's so much hype right now. So I'll start with the first one, which is explaining you the structure, how we have planned it out. So as we all know that there are three things in CSAT. One is quantitative aptitude, second is reading comprehension, and the third one is logic and reasoning. So we are starting with quantitative aptitude. I know it's the hardest, but if we start with this, we will be done by this, like by the mid of the January, and it will be over. And also reading comprehension, because it takes time to develop speed as well as to develop the understanding along with the speed. We have decided that we will be doing one passage a day so that you develop it consistently. So we will be going through one passage every day, and at regular intervals, about 2-3 weeks afterwards, we'll have tests regularly, and we'll keep doing it till almost we have done 120 passages or so, and you will be very well prepared with the passages as well. So coming to quantitative right now. So what we are planning is that we have all the topics, like we have this sheet, right, where we have all the syllabus noted down. You all know the syllabus. We have number systems, divisibility, averages, LCM, etc., etc. So what we have done is that we have divided the topics based on their ease and number of days that it should take, and also and what are the deliverables which we will be giving along with those topics. So for example, as we all know that the plan is kicking out on 30th of October. So first first and the firstmost topic is divisibility, which is the most easiest of all and the basic of the whole quantitative. So we will start with divisibility. We have given it 2 days, and we will be giving you first deliverable in the mornings, which is the videos, which you will be watching by yourself, and you will understand them and you will comprehend them properly. And at the same time, you will also get deliverable number 2, which are the questions that you will be practicing by yourself again during the whole day whenever you find time. And the third deliverable, which will be coming at night, will be the discussion of those questions which were provided to you during the day. So every day we have this structure that we will have number one in the morning, a video, and it can be one video or even 2 videos, like depending on the how many things you need to learn that day, and questions. You have the whole day whenever you find time, whenever you have charted out this is the slot for CSAT, you practice them then, and then at night we will have that discussion of the questions, whatever be the like short term tricks or something like that. How do you actually think in exam for this question itself? We will be discussing all that in the discussion itself. So and in this same way we will keep on going and covering the topics. What we have also done is that after every week on Sundays we have given you a revision day, and as like in the first half of the day you are like supposed to revise it whatever we have done in the previous week, and at night we will be having a test which will be timer based test. We will decide like right now the decision is that we will take 10 questions ka test. We will decide later on according to how much weightage that section has, and we will see how many questions we'll do. It will be a timer based test. You will be you will be attempting that test live right on the Telegram group, and you will be choosing the options and we will see, and then we'll have a discussion of that as well. And also so like you can see all the topics which are here, right? So these topics, they go on, and at the same time what third thing that we have done is we have given you small breaks also in the middle, like from 25th December, which is the Christmas time, till New Year. We have given you 1 week long break so that you can finish up all your backlog, all the revisions, etc. And also after all the first all the quantitative aptitude topics are done, which is still here, right? We are giving you again a small break where you do all your revision by yourself. There will be no tests in that time, no discussions happening, but you will be revising, and then we will be having the final test for quantitative. So this is the plan of each section. We will be covering logical reasoning in the exact same way. We will have 3 deliverables. We have the topics written down here, and again we'll have a revision, and then we'll have the final test of logic and reasoning. So this thing is getting over by 10th of March, this logical reasoning part. And about reading comprehension, like I told earlier, that we will be covering 1 passage a day, and we will cover almost 120 passages by the daily questions as well as the tests, including those. And we will have again the RC final test, which is reading comprehension final test, in January itself. And then after that, from all this period which you have, when you will not have RC, which will be telling you to do this passage, you will have this time to number one, to focus on the paper 1 of prelims, right? You'll have geography, history, etc. So you'll have to focus on that because this is January now. And also second thing, you will also keep 1 hour to revise whatever we have done till now. And we'll have our logical reasoning going on parallelly, and we'll be done with whatever we have to tell you, like in terms of sessions, etc., by 10th March. And after that, again, we give you 2 weeks for doing all the revision of all topics at one go. And then we'll start with the full length tests. After doing first full length test, again, we have like every week we'll keep the tests. We are planning right now about 6 to 8 tests. We'll see how things go then. But this is how we are planning things. So it's week-wise plan. This whole sheet will be shared with you, so you will know what is coming when. Yeah, so that's it. So see you on 30th of October, which is tomorrow, with the first video and the first set of questions, and then at night. I hope you follow along, and it will be really great if you do. I'll hand it over to Priya right now. She'll explain further about what you need to do and everything. Priya?
Thanks, Kati. Hi, everyone. My name is Priya. I've already sent you the first set of videos, which was the speed maths playlist to help you get into the groove of things about this. Now, going forward, what you need to understand is that everyone has a different speed at which they can approach the subject, right? So what we will do is at the beginning of whenever we're supposed to start something, for example, on 30th of October, I will send you all the links of all the videos that you need to cover to be able to finish the divisibility portion of quantitative aptitude. Now, you can see that you have 2 days to do divisibility. You can watch all the videos that I send. I think there are 4. You can watch all the videos that I send on Monday itself and then attempt the PYQs as they are uploaded. Or you can watch 2 on Monday and 2 on Tuesday, whatever suits your time schedule. But you have to ensure that you finish whatever we have sent to you in the stipulated time. Now, your tasks in this has to be twofold. Firstly, when you watch the videos, you have to take some notes. Sir has been talking about basic comprehensive notes and short notes for a long time now, so I'm assuming you understand what it means. I'll tell you what it implies in CSAT. In CSAT, what you have to do is that whenever the teacher in the video is explaining a concept or is giving you a formula, you have to write down that formula. The reason you do this, you will understand, is before every test, we have also mentioned that you have revision. That revision basically implies that you have to revise your so-called formula book. This formula book is your short notes holy Bible that you will revise now and every week going forward and before your CSAT, which will help you in the last moment so that you don't panic. This formula book is a combination of a lot of things. Firstly, being the formulae that the teachers will give you in the videos. Second, it will be some short tips and tricks that you will learn from the discussion that the mentors do with you when they discuss the PYQs. Not all questions that come in the CSAT need to be solved only by using a formula. Some of them can also be solved using some tips and tricks which will be covered by the mentors as they discuss each PYQ. Your job is to write down those tips and tricks, write down how a particular problem has been solved, if you couldn't solve it, if you thought it was difficult, so that later when you're revising, you can come back to it and remember what went wrong, or remember how a quick way or a better way to solve a complicated question is like. For example, when we do divisibility, you will get 1 to 20 tables ka divisibility rules. For example, the divisibility rule for, say, the number 3 is that if it's whatever the number of digits in a number, if you add it up, suppose the number is 152. If you add up all the digits of 152, that is 1 plus 5 plus 2, which is 8. If it is divisible by 3, then the number 152 is divisible by 3. Otherwise, it is not. You have to write down this rule. You can write it down however you want to, that, you add up the numbers. A plus B plus C should be divisible by 3. However it suits you, you have to write this down so that you can remember it when you're revising. So the first thing you will do is make notes, short notes of the formulae and the tips and tricks from the videos that we send you. Then you will do the PYQs that are uploaded. When you are solving now, I would suggest that you solve the entire sum with steps. Don't take shortcuts or try to do tukkebazi or educated guesses right now. We will have a lot of time to do that when we come closer to time. Right now, try to solve the sum from beginning to end so that you don't miss out any steps and you understand the method of solving the sum. That is your responsibility number 2, that you solve clearly and concisely for your own benefit. And of course, the third thing is going to be, once the discussion is done, you write down all the sums that you maybe got wrong or that you couldn't understand, and you write down the method that was given to you. This is for your quantitative aptitude. When you come to logic and reasoning, you obviously don't make a formula book for logic and reasoning. You don't have things like that. The idea there is to understand what the different types of questions that are, right? So in seating arrangement, you ensure that when you're solving, you draw a proper circle if it's a circular table, and you draw the spokes carefully. And then the whole idea of logical reasoning is to build up on your accuracy. Reading comprehension, Kathy, if you can scroll up. Thank you. So for reading comprehension, your deliverables are more or less easy. We will teach you some elimination tricks that should help you in reducing the number of options when it comes to reading comprehension. Because the one thing you have to understand is that your job is never to find the correct answer. In reading comprehension, your job is to remove all the wrong answers and reach the correct answer. So my only request from you for your RC portion is to take some time in solving the questions. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever amount of time it takes you, you give to the question so that you can eliminate the wrong options. If an option, if you try to get the option right, you might try to make a guess, which in some cases helps and in some cases doesn't help. Your job is to give enough, an ample amount of time to each option to find exactly why that option is wrong. So right now, for the beginning 3 weeks till you take your first test of 15 passages, what you have to do is that every time we give you a question, you have to mention with the options when you decide that a particular option is wrong. Suppose option A, C, and D are wrong. Next to each option, in your head, you have to remember or write down why you think that option is wrong. If you do this, if you are able to build up the knowledge bank or the reasoning again to be able to eliminate options properly, you will see that your accuracy will immediately skyrocket, which means will immediately become very high when you come to reading comprehension. Do this for the first 3 weeks, and then when you take your first test, your first timed test on the 23rd of November, that gives you a lot of time, right? Of course, in the time test, you don't have time to sit and write down why a particular option is wrong. But if you build up this ability to eliminate options on your own, which we will discuss in the 3 discussion sessions that we have organized, you will be able to come to a better solution. And why I keep saying that your accuracy should improve is where I come to discuss this entire fear that surrounds the CSAT, right? Unlike the GS paper 1 of the UPSC exam, where you have a cutoff which depends comparatively on how the rest of your competitors are performing. The CSAT has a fixed pass mark. What I mean by that is, for example, in 1 year, if everyone gets 100 questions right in GS1, your cutoff becomes 200 marks, which is almost impossible, which is not possible for you to get. Suppose 10 people don't get 200, but everyone else gets 200, they pass, right? They're done with GS1. The thing with CSAT is it doesn't matter what everyone else is scoring. All you need to do is reach passing marks. You need to get 33.33% of the marks, and that's it. It doesn't matter if you solve all 80 questions correctly. As long as you are able to get 66 marks, 66.67 marks, you are good. For example, if I took the CSAT this year and I solved all questions correctly and I got, let's say, if I solve all, I'd get 160, right? It doesn't mean that I would automatically clear the prelims. It wouldn't happen like that. All I would need to clear CSAT is 66.67 marks. So all the effort that I put in beyond that to go beyond solving just 33 or 34 sums is an added effort that I don't particularly need to take on the exam day, because that shouldn't be your main agenda. Your main agenda in CSAT is to maximize your accuracy and not your attempt rate. What this means is that out of 80 questions, you will find maybe 10 questions that are very difficult. It doesn't matter. You can just skip the question and move on if you think it is difficult, if it is a topic that you haven't studied, if it is something that you think is very complicated. Your ideal number of questions has to be just enough to get you over the finishing line. Now, this can happen in multiple ways because there is also a negative marking that comes in CSAT, right? You can either maybe attempt 60 questions and get 50 of them right and still be able to clear the cutoff. But you can also just attempt 40 questions and still clear the cutoff if you get each question right. So your main focus in CSAT should be to do whatever you are doing, but to do it well. If you're choosing to do divisibility rules or percentages or averages or whatever it is that you're choosing to do, your job is to ensure that you learn it so well that when a question comes in the paper, you can solve it correctly. The one thing I can tell you to eliminate fear is that you don't have to do any harbari you don't have to be in a rush to finish your CSAT paper when it comes in front of you. You have to take each question individually and look at it and judge it as a question of whether it is easy and whether it is something that you know how to solve. If it is a difficult question, there is no harm in leaving it and going to the next question. Because at the end of the day, every question carries the same amount of marks. You don't have to come out of the exam hall and tell us, I did all the difficult questions, because it doesn't matter. A person solving the easiest questions but correctly will get the same marks as someone who's solving all the difficult questions. So make CSAT a game of accuracy. Don't have to try to cover everything in the syllabus of mathematics in quantitative aptitude. We have given you a plan and we will give you all the resources to ensure that if there is something in the syllabus that you should cover or that you want to cover, you will be able to cover it with this plan. But if you think that it is becoming too complicated for you, then it is also okay for you to just understand the basics of it. And if the sum is not something you can solve in the exam, it is okay for you to not attempt it and to do something that is more in your comfort zone. Of course, don't take this to mean that you can now do selective studying. Aisa nahi hota, because in the exam, you don't know which topic is going to have an easy question and which topic is going to have a difficult question. You can set very, very easy questions from probability and very, very difficult questions from percentages, even though the relative difficulty level of both these topics are very different. So the idea is to learn the basics of everything and remember that it is not a game of trying to solve the entire paper. You don't have any major cutoff to beat. You just have to score passing marks, and the passing marks are just 1/3, which you should be able to do with a basic understanding of quant or logic or VR, or you don't have VA or only RC, and we will try our best to help you cover all of this. So just believe in us, and I hope that this entire plan will help you cover the syllabus of math, which seems very insurmountable right now. But I assure you that if you follow along on the journey as we have explained, you will be able to cover it all. When it comes to logic, of course, we have added the timeline and the syllabus for logic, but the idea is to be able to build up a reasoning mind, to put yourself in the situation and see what would possibly be the solution if you were actually to reach a situation like that. Suppose you were standing in front of a picture of a family tree and you were in the position to have to choose or have to decide who goes where. And reading comprehension, I can assure you, you are already doing very well in it because you are reading so much for your GS papers that I'm sure your reading speed is good on its own. All you need to do is to not look for the correct answer, but look for the wrong answers. And that is how you will be able to get these questions right as well. A lot of people have sent messages asking if they can just leave one section in CSAT. For example, quant, I'm very scared of QA. I don't want to do quant at all. Can I just do RCs really well and go for the exam? See, personally, that is a very dangerous thing to do. Because if by chance 1 year UPSC decides that this year we will make the RC section very difficult and we will give an easy quant section, then you will face trouble. So now that you still have time, you have nearly 200 days to the prelims exam, don't try to remove anything from your list of to-dos or your study list. Try to cover everything as far as basics are concerned. And if you do a little every day, I'll tell you at the end of it, you will be able to achieve a lot more, right? Rome was not built in a day. You can use this quote in any of your essays as well. But Rome was not built in a day, which means that you will not be able to build the magnificent architecture of a city just by sitting one day and deciding कि आज मुझे सब कुछ खत्म करना है. It happens if you put in a little bit of effort every day. This plan would probably take about 1.5 to 2 hours of your time every day. But I think that if you are weak in CSAT, or if you have a fear of CSAT, in the beginning days, that should be a good amount of investment to make in the CSAT, because anyway, we reduce the weightage of it a lot when we reach the ending stages, which is around March. So put in work right now, and I think you'll be sorted in time. And don't worry about having to do so much in the paper itself. थोड़ा थोड़ा करोगे तो you will learn enough, and you will be confident enough and prepared enough to tackle any paper that the UPSC throws at you. It doesn't matter if they throw a class 12 level paper or a graduation level paper, right? Because not every question in the paper will be so complicated. There will be some easy questions. There will be some sitters. Sitters are the easiest questions, jiska answer you can get just by doing 2 plus 2, 3 plus 3. And there you will always find, in whatever exam you write, there will always be some easy questions like that when it comes to aptitude tests. Your job is to find those easy questions, no matter how difficult a paper UPSC tries to set. So don't worry about what is the cutoff level of difficulty for CSAT. Don't worry about how difficult the paper is going to be. Don't worry about which section is more difficult, which section is more easy. You put in your effort, and we will teach you all that you need to learn to be able to ace this paper. I think that's all I had to say. Kathy, if you wanted to add something.
Yeah, I'll just add one thing. For people who are not of mathematics background, right? They might be scared of formulas and all those things. And I hope that what like Priya said, like you have made the notes, like how you're supposed to make your short notes for RC, for QA, for LR. Like if you have not, please do rewatch what she was saying at that time and just make a note, like what you have to do, because that's a very foolproof strategy about like how to make short notes for QA, RC, and everything. And for people who are scared of formulas as well, please don't worry. When we'll discuss the questions every night with you, we will teach you how to solve by understanding as well. So this agenda of this, like as Priya was saying, is for you not to like go after the hardest questions or anything like that, but to develop a basic understanding of everything so you can tackle anything at all. And we'll teach you the knacks of it as well, which is apart from formulas. Formulas you will be given, obviously. Formulas will be taught. We will be showing how you are solving the question with formulas. But also, if you do not know the formula, how do you just understand what's actually being asked? And then with the basic level of maths, just multiplication, addition, etc., how do you achieve at the answer, like arrive at the answer, right? So do not like fear, like as Priya has already very beautifully, I hope like you are not afraid now. And you, as Priya said, like please do put in like some time every day and you will be through. Like we assure you, you will be through, right? Okay. So is this all, Priya?
I think we're good to go. I'll be sending the first set of videos for divisibility rules in a few hours, along with a copy of the entire plan, so that you know how many days we have given to each subject or each topic.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So you like she said, like you'll get the plan, you'll get the videos. Please start watching them, and please be disciplined enough to do every day. Do not create a backlog. Do not create a lot of backlog, because once you have a backlog, and over here we are doing every day. Every day we are switching. Every day we are doing questions. Do not create a backlog. Discussions will be happening every night. So just keep going through with it, rather than like कि अच्छा बाद में कर लूँगा, बाद में कर लूँगी. ऐसे मत करना. Just करते जाओ साथ साथ में, ठीक है? Okay, all the best, and we hope that you have a very very fruitful this 200 days with us, and see you on 30th. Okay, bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.